Oh, well, hello there, everyone, and welcome back to another Minecraft live stream. Today we are once again working on our Baroque and Rococo build over here. Now, as I'm sure you can probably see, I've been a little bit busy since last time. Not a whole lot, but I've done some. So the main thing I've done is built some pews here. Pew pew, pew pew. And of course I've started putting in a floor design. Now, last time I did do a little bit of the marbled floor effect with you guys. I have changed things a little bit. So on my first layer here, it's all white except for where I'm putting in my designs. These are allowed to be a different design because so long as I don't use brown or gray stained glass, because that's what's on the layer directly underneath. Now I did remove some of the layers, so there's only technically 3 full layers of glass, though I did put, I kept the white stripies underneath, but I found that having the orange layer on the very bottom was actually making it so that way the floor was a little bit too opaque. So I think that's good enough to get the effect that I want. You can kind of compare how it looks with these pillars, where you can very clearly see the reflection thing, but it's not like so apparent that it's like looks like I just splatted the entire build upside down. I just wanted something subtle, and then the other thing, flip side of to that, is it was getting too opaque where I couldn't make out any of the stuff down there. So I think having 3 layers seems to be my maximum for trying to make something that looks more like marble, like a reflection in marble. So if you guys want to replicate that same sort of deal, that's what I would go with. Obviously, that's what I'm going with for here. Otherwise, yeah, I've been having fun making this design here. It's just orange stained glass with little bits of pink and yellow just to make it a little bit more interesting than just a flat design. Um, Not much to say about it otherwise. Oh, but I did make a decision before. When I was designing like these statues over here, they were fine. They were okay. But the problem that I was facing with this entire build was I was making it just a generic, I don't know, make some generic statues of saints and whatever. But be honest with you, I was really having troubles motivating myself to do this, where it's just like, oh, I have to build 50 million statues of random saints that I don't even know. Uh, so I've decided to scrap the random statues idea, and instead what I'm going to do, oh, hello, Howard Sue. Yeah, so instead of just doing generic things, I decided to go with, I want to design this based off of something specific. And so what I am going for is, I haven't seen a design like this before, and so it may be a little bit overambitious, and I'm not going to like push it too far, hopefully, but the idea is that there's a certain scene in the Bible, in Revelations, where you see the throne of God, you see like 4 beasts standing before it, the 7 flames or torches representing the 7 churches of Asia or something like that. Anyway, it's this big scene thing. But what I'm going for is it's kind of almost like the biblically accurate angels sort of designs, you know, where you get the weirdo bunch of eyeballs going around in a circle with a bunch of wings. Yeah, I want to kind of do that same idea where I take the specific scene from the Bible and just try to make it as accurate as I can to it, like literal, I suppose. So it's going to be like kind of a weirdo thing, but I have these 4 pillars here that I'm going to put the 4 beasts on, one of which is an eagle, one is a calf, one is a person, and then the last one is a bear? No. I don't remember. I'll have to look it up. But that's kind of my plan. And I don't know, it gives this hopefully I can make this a little bit more cohesive. So I've gone ahead and marked on the floor. These are going to be the pink stained glass is where I'm going to put pillars, and I just have these roughly marked out because there's supposed to be 24 elders standing before it, so I'm actually going to put those up on the roof level before the mosaic that goes over the top. So if, yeah, essentially it's going to be showing the opening of the seals, and essentially the apocalypse is what all of Revelations is covering. So we're going to have some fun doing, I'm not sure where, like, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse are going. I don't know where the beast is going. I don't know. But we'll put things that are apocalypse related in here, and I think that would be fun. Hopefully you guys agree. So I don't know if I should start on making pillars. Whoops, that's not going to be a pillar. I'm not sure if I should start making pillars in the actual structure first, or if I should start working on doing some statues. I'm not entirely sure what you guys want to watch me do, so, or what I feel like doing right at the moment. I think, first and foremost, I wouldn't mind trying to kind of set this stage a little bit more. Try to plan. You see, I have on the floor 7 slots that I can put 7 torches. Oh no, this is just for. This is not for Legend of Alex. This is for doing another tutorial build. So we're going to be doing a tutorial on Baroque and Rococo style architecture. It seems to be a popular request, so it's going to take me ages to do, so I'm kind of unfortunately putting my Legend of Alex stuff a little bit off to the side to kind of focus down this for the moment, because it needs done and it's going to take me forever. But anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and start making torches, and then in this section before, I know you're supposed to put the altar underneath the canopy over here. I don't remember what the canopy is called, but in the actual description of what we're looking at, this is supposed to be the throne of God is going to go up here, and then the altar is supposed to be in front of that, and on the altar is supposed to be a lamb with like 7 horns and 7 eyes that's supposed to represent Jesus Christ. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do the full lamb, but it might be fun to do. But yeah, so I'm trying to think, 7 beasts, not 7, 4 beasts, somewhere, but I'm in the very center is going to be the throne of God. Something else I could do is, instead of putting him up here, I could just put the beasts up here and then put the throne down here, but that seems a little bit odd to put the throne of God below everything else, so, but I do worry about height. I'm almost wondering if I need to drop the height of my little swirly pillars here, just because they are rather tall already, and trying to put anything up there is going to make it really, really hard to see anything that's going on, any details or anything. So, yeah, I think that's the first thing I need to do is, unfortunately, take some of my, stuff here, this here. If I were to put this and drop it to that level, that would be going down 1, 2, 3. It's just moving down 3 blocks. That's doable. Let me make sure I'm getting all of that. Nope, 2 more out. I have to be 1 away because I'm actually selecting these buttons as well. So it's just trying to be more precise, which is why I'm not just hovering in place and doing a general selection. I can do that for going out. That's where I want. Blink. And we go to the other side. I figure once I actually get the top portion done, I can then select it all and do the flip and paste. So for now, I'll just leave the bottom section as is, and I'll deal with the rest later. This one can be a little bit more vague, so we're going to say position 2. Oops. Position 2. And move 3 blocks, we said. Hopefully that doesn't kill my pattern. Yeah. Oh, nope, I killed my pattern. That almost looks like it. That's like 1 block up. What am I looking at? Move it 4 instead. That did it, right? Pattern that's still going up all the way around? Yeah. Yeah! Alright, so we have shortened the pillars a little, and actually, honestly, that was probably a better call. Alright. So I want to be able to put torches in these spots here. The torches aren't really described other than torches, like basically holding flames of some sort. The flames part seems important. Something I was thinking about doing is in the 7th seal there's also like 7 woes that get opened up. And I'm not sure if I want to try to make like angels depicting the 7 woes and make them part of the torches, but that might be just a little bit too much detail to try to fit into a small thing as a torch. So maybe I'll just go with, you know, generic torch. But I do need to pick colors. I'll probably just go with granite, maybe. Maybe I'll do the same thing I did over there, where it's granite and then also the red nether brick. If I'm being really lazy, I just do a basic plus sign. I don't know if I should do it kind of in the center or if I should bring it out 1, but I think centralizing it a little bit more is probably the better bet. So then, I don't know, I can do like, I don't need it to be too fancy. And then I kind of want it to be more cream colored as it goes up. And I'm always weird and I like to make the torches, instead of just turning off fire tick, I like to put down the netherrack and then set it on fire. Just because, netherrack's over here. I knew that. Just because in survival mode I would want it to be, like, look how it should look, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, I don't like using cheap things like debug stick or, you know, turning off fire tick just to achieve a certain look, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Maybe I'll do... yes, survival friendly. As survival friendly as you can get with a build that is like 200 blocks big, because I've tried building one of my cathedrals in the survival world before. It was actually on a server that I was playing, and sorry, sidetracked. I made it a certain amount, and it was a pain in the butt to build, and I made it a certain amount. I had, like, a roof on it, I had my main arches done on it, and I had started on the tracery for the stained glass windows, and, but then the server got reset, and I lost all of the progress on it. I was so sad. I can tell you just from that experience that trying to actually do some of these larger builds in survival mode sucks. I was actually surprised that somebody, I saw earlier on Reddit, somebody actually made one of my cathedrals, my basic cathedral design. They made one in survival mode, and I just was a little bit flabbergasted just because, again, I've tried to do it, and takes a long time to do, and they also did like a full decked out thing with it as well. I was quite impressed by that. It's blending in with the sky behind it, but I have to remind myself that there won't be sky behind it. But I am worried that most of my color scheme is going to be very pastel colored. The reason being is that, well, so Rococo is named after, like, is a combination of two words, that just basically means, a rock and a shell. And, so when I think of Rococo, the thing that makes more sense to me is like looking at a conch shell where it's almost like white and pristine on the outside, but with lots of like fine details and spikes on it and stuff like that, whereas the inside is like smooth, polished, and kind of pink, a marbled pink color. That to me is what represents Rococo, is a conch shell. Just that sort of look. So yeah, that's kind of the color schemes I'm going for then, is mostly going to be light pinks, whites, with just a little bit of the greens in specifically focal points, which of course this is the focal point, and lots of gold gilding everywhere. So, did I already copy that? Yes. Let me figure out where I want to put this one. It's a little, let's put it right there, in which case, right here. Yeah. I'm just making all of these torches and seeing how I like them. Something I might do is make them get bigger as they go further away. So maybe the front three look like the small size here, but I might make the back ones just a little bit larger. We'll try that. Yeah, that's not bad, I don't think. Do I need to go larger with this one, or can this one be the same size? Let's see, where's this one going? Uh-oh. This one's not on a even placement. I might put it right here and see. Yeah, good enough. Now, do I need to make that bigger? Or, yeah. See how it kind of like shrinks back behind? Baroque and Rococo tended to do things like make statues that are further away from you larger, specifically so that way they look more in your face, even though they're farther away. So they played with perspective like crazy. So I'm actually going to make this torch size a bigger size. So I might bring this guy up to a 4x4. And then I can make it a little bit more detailed with some of this. I'm just going to get rid of my glass in my inventory at the moment. I think I've done most of the glass work I'm going to do. There. Is that too thin? It's fine. Now, do I go with walls, or do I go with something else to try to be clever? I could do something like the fences are thinner, and if I go with a jungle fence, no, that's still too bulky. I need something that looks like it's in the center of that a little bit more. The walls are going to do the same thing, but they might connect a little bit better. That's maybe a forgivable offense. Yeah, I figure I did a whole bunch of like making the floor and stuff before, so I'm going to focus on smaller elements today and just do like some of the statues and stuff. I think that will make me happy. Oh. I don't know how this will look. That is a fat little torch. Does it need to be raised up by a block? I think the answer is yes. That might help our problems. So right now it just looks chonky. So, I hope everybody had a good Halloween. Now it is, you know, All Hallows Eve. Today is All Saints Day. So, that's a bit better. It looks a little bit more proportional to those now, I think. Yeah, I had fun taking my kids around doing trick-or-treating and such. You can actually see my son's Halloween costume is behind me. He was wearing, you know, the netherite armor for his costume. I always like making costumes, so that's something I make a point to do, is to design and make the costumes for my kids. I wasn't able to finish doing the sewing on my daughter's dress. She was a creeper, so I ended up having to ask for help, but it was still handmade. But my mother-in-law helped me finish that one on time. But yeah, I really liked the look of having the trim on the netherite armor, and so did my son. He's really loves doing the gold trim on it. Anytime he's, you know, trying to design something, he's like, gotta be gold, gotta make it gold, because that's his favorite color. And then I let him pick out which of the armor trims to do, so he picked the flow, which I think is a more recent one that was just added in the trial chambers one. Do I need to make the far back ones a little bit bigger too? Probably. Oh, at least these ones are easier to center. Oh. Except I made that a 2x2. That. Let me just plop one in and see if it looks okay. But yeah, something that was fun to do with this armor is I actually designed the layout in Adobe Illustrator and took the file to a laser cutter, and that way I didn't have to hand cut any of it because I don't like cutting cardboard. That last little torch blends in just a little bit too much. It might be silly, but I almost wonder if I should make the center of it green to match that. don't know. But yeah, that way the only thing I had to do for actually, like, other than designing it in Illustrator was just to fold it, glue it, and then paint it. And then, and the trim part was also separate, where it was separately designed and laser cut, just with a poster board instead of a full cardboard. Overall, it turned out really well, so I'm happy with the way that his costume turned out. So, trying to discuss stuff and think about what I'm doing here, so... I might just make another design. Go even bigger! This one, maybe I'll raise it up on a pedestal of the netherrack. No, bricks. Nether bricks. And is this going to be this huge? I don't know. Is this too big? Perhaps. That might be too large. Yeah. I do want it to be larger than that one, but I think that's too big. So maybe do like that plan. Having it up a little bit more. Maybe this one needs to have more. That's fair. Something that's missing from all of these is some sort of gold trim on there. I'm not sure how I would get a gold design running through that, though. I've been using a lot of the bamboo blocks because they're the more saturated yellow sort of color that gives me stairs and slabs and other options. I've been using that a lot for making the gold, and then I find that combining it with the resin gives it more of the orange undertones, because by itself it's a little bit too green. So doing a mix of the two kind of gives almost a gold gilding look. There. So, like, that is okay, but I'm wondering if I should go in and snag some of the resin bricks and just put, like, one there. Maybe one on each of the corners. There. There we go. That looks a little bit more golden. Maybe to add some gold here. It'd be cool if I could... Well, I'm debating... Not on that one. This one. If I put this here, it adds just that little tiny bit there, but I think that might be too much because it sticks out too far. I always have a hard time trying to get the tiny details in things. I'm not the best at tiny details. And one thing I'm noticing is that granite is blending in too much with the granite pillar behind, and so I'm almost wondering if I need to do a different color entirely for the middle of these. If I go with the green, see here. Where is my dried kelp block? Oh yeah, I updated the game and it got rid of my resource pack that took out all of this awful white line that goes through dried kelp. I still think that's the greatest crime that they ever did, was take the best dark green block they have in the game and stick a white line through it. With that, it does feel like it needs that little bit of gold trim, so maybe I'll try putting those back. Problem is there isn't like a good green wall of any kind, so the best I could do is like the warped fences, or yes, they just have to ruin our palette. Make a white line going through it. Yeah, there aren't any walls for dark prismarine, otherwise I would totally use that. Copper bars! It's not gonna do me a lot of good. How silly would this be? It kind of gets rid of the shape and it blends in too much of the background. Nope, that's a no. I might have to drop to something desaturated, like using the deep slate or black stone. Maybe black stone. That is standing out a little bit more from that pillar, though this part has to be also on the same green palette. Now, should I go with going more with the teal? Probably. Do I do dark prismarine or should I jump straight up to warp block? I feel like that's maybe a little bit too saturated for something all the way down there. It pulls the eye down too far. Let's me go back to dark prismarine and see how that feels. That's better. Or, instead of going darker with the whole thing, what I could do is just build the entire thing out of white blocks. That's what I could do. Well, maybe I'll leave this torch here and I'll make a white one over here. So that way I can compare and contrast which one I like more. Once again, this is another block that really needs a fence type, is quartz. Why do they not have like a wall for quartz? You know, instead all you get for a white wall is diorite. Darn it. And then I'll probably drop it to bone blocks so that way it's got just a little bit darker, a little bit more color to it going down. Bone block isn't quite the right color. How about mushroom stem? Come on, where's my mushies? There it is. See, it's a little bit too yellow. I want it to be more of the pink palette. That might blend in a bit much if I have white walls, but it does stand out a bit more against the granite behind it. And comparing it to that, yeah, that one's blending a little bit too much, so I think I like the white instead. Here, I'll just grab the whole palette, and that way I can just do a quick replace of all of these. Oh, that means putting diorite here. Ew. Wrong tab. I need the quartz. Oh, no, not just quartz stairs. I need the smooth quartz stairs. But I can't tell you how many times I've been like, oh yeah, I'll build something, and I accidentally make it out of regular quartz, and it has a bunch of lines running through it. It's like, oops. I was honestly really happy when they made smooth quartz a thing, because I've always hated that they put lines in regular quartz blocks. Now, do I keep the gold trim on the bottom and then try to do something like I did there, where it adds just that little bit of gold color to these? Probably. More details in the case of Baroque and Rococo. There is no such thing as too busy. Pretty well. Alright, now I can go back to designing the larger one, I think. So maybe what I do for this one is, instead of putting these as stairs, I put these as full blocks, maybe? Let me just grab my... Ooh, and I could actually do gold instead of bamboo at that point, and then grab resin. Yeah. I'm still going to need walls for the middle, but I'm hesitant to do diorite again, but there aren't very many good white options. Any functional blocks I could maybe use? Oh, something I was really happy about is I finally have access to shelves! I actually put this to good use when I was making these, my pews, and then I could add just that little bit of extra detail of the gilding around the edges. That was kind of fun to make. So, yeah. One of the issues with using banners, though, is you'll notice that you can't see any of the red until you get close enough, so as you fly in, the red of the banner suddenly pops in. I kind of wish that there was a way to... There might be a way that I just don't know how to do to increase the distance where you can actually see banners and such. Because that's kind of annoying that the moment you're standing at the point of the altar, you can't make out any of the red banners at all. It's not till you get closer that they'll pop in. But yes, I have shelves now, and I'm really happy about that. Fortunately, yeah, see, that's not gonna do what I want it to for the middle there. I think that there is no other option besides, because fences are going to put holes in it, and I don't really want holes in it. I think I'm gonna have to just deal with more diorite walls. Maybe something I could do to spice it up a little bit is to put a sandstone wall to add a little bit of warmth to it. Just in like one of the top right corners or something like that. Not that you can see from far away. Yeah, that warms it up hopefully enough. And then do I do a full quartz block top of that? Probably. Here, just go back here and grab one. Got it. And another rack. The problem with having the fire is that I can't exactly make upside down fire, which is unfortunate, but that's alright. The torches will be there at least. You. Maybe I'll make this one a full instead of having the corners chopped out. And that'll make it look a little bit bigger without actually being any bigger. Okay, stand back at the center back here. Still can't quite make that out back there, can you? It looks fine from like the side angle here that it's actually making a curve up a little bit. But it does bother me that you can't see it like at all from the center. I almost wonder if it would help if I bumped it one more that way. Oops. Just so that way it's a little bit, it's not directly behind this one, it's a little bit further out. Nope, that's still like directly behind it, isn't it? In that instance, would it be better to instead move it more in? Or should I continue to move it further out? So if I move it like 3 blocks over, that way it continues to curve outwards and around it. There we go. That's better. It does bother me that those are full blocks though at the base of that. But I'm not really sure. Something I could do is continue to have here, I'll just put those right there for right now. Nope, never mind. I need to make them red, or that's gonna bother me. Or actually I could maybe put them gold down there, so if anybody's looking it looks like there's gold details. But then doing slabs around. This is me experimenting. This may or may not actually look good. Yeah, sure. Just do a stripey ring. Sure, why not? Okay. Yeah. It almost looks like I need something similar to a gold fringe on the bottom. I think I might need to add something at the top as well, but I really don't have that many resources for making small gold bitsies, do I? If only I could keep the horn coral from dying, then I could maybe do something. Oh, that doesn't look good either. If it was like on the top, that would be okay. But it's gonna die, and that definitely doesn't look good. It does add a little, the dead one adds just a little bit more depth to the pillar anyway. Oh, I can't put something there because of the trapdoors. Because that could have been cool, maybe, is just like... And I can't put it on the walls or the stairs. Putting just a little bit of that might make it more interesting, but... It'd be better if it were gold. Yeah, that I can't seem to even put it on the glass. That's a shame. You could put leaf litter on stuff. Why can't you put wildflowers on anything? Increase the entity view distance and that should fix it. I thought I did. Video settings. There's like the simulation distance. Where's the entity view distance? Oh, entity distance. I have it to like 300%. What happens if I turn it way, way, way up? Nothing. It did nothing. I don't think that's affecting it. Yeah. Let's turn that back down. And I don't think the simulation distance helps either. No, it doesn't. I feel like there's some setting you can change in like a server to make it less further, but I don't know how to make it affect a single player world. Alright. If I do that, is that crazy? You know, it'd be better is if I could sneak some of the resin in there, but there are no resin trapdoors. There's acacia trapdoors. Not nearly as bright, but it's something. I'm not sure that had much of any effect. Alright, never mind. It does feel like it needs just a little bit more gold at the top. I'm not sure how to make that happen. I'm just experimenting with stuff at this point. It's not bad. Oh, this one isn't wax. It's gonna turn blue on me. Don't do that. Waxed copper chain. Whoops. As far as tiny details go, I don't think it matters too much, so it's just a little bit of something. See, I'm not sure how much I like the fact that you can see that hanging quite some distance from the middle there. I might just leave this as is and move on to the next thing. Call it good enough. Alright. This guy. I need to copy him. I almost wonder if the red is a little bit too dark at the bottom. Because it is supposed to be more of a pastel coloring. If I were to make it like, it works for the main pillars, but that's because I needed a darker coloring just to make a solid bottom. For these, it might be a little bit too dark. Maybe let's try doing something crazy and making it pink. With mangrove on the side and back. Maybe not the pink. But I do think the mangrove, instead of doing the red nether brick, might be better. Should I keep that base red nether brick? Make it pink! That's too stark of a contrast. I do something like this around it. I can tolerate that. Oops. It's a pew in my way. And going around the sides. Yeah. Alright. That's what we'll do over here too then. Alright, so with the pillar designs, I can now copy it, flip it, and turn it upside down. Oh, nope, I missed. I need to go back here. Don't need to be that high. Not seeing the base of them. Am I just blind and not seeing it through there? Okay, yeah, it's there. It's just really subtle. Oh, I see what happened, what I did wrong. That would do it. I might delete the trapdoors that are in there. That looks a little bit strange. That is something about flipping it, is I can't always do an exact copy. The good example is when I did the these pews here. I have these trapdoors here, which would actually take the spot of being right here, which would delete my floor. So the flipped version is actually slightly different than the not flipped version. I'm just doing this so that way I can edit out. Oh, did I undo those? No, I didn't. Now I can do a paste in the middle of the air here. And I'm just going to delete the trapdoors because I don't think they looked good in the upside down version. I don't think anything else needs to be changed about it. So if I just do that and then select it all. There we go. That's a little bit better. Nice. Alright. Oh, something I'm going to do though is so that way the reflection also emits light. I'm going to replace the netherrack down here with something that glows. So, I'm just going to do frog lights. Probably the yellow ones because I'm weird like that. Oops. If I put those in place of the fire, that way it's in the exact same spot as the fire up above, that should be fine, and nobody's going to pay that close attention to notice that that's not fire. There. And nope. You can still see the frog lights, so which is a problem. So maybe I should inset the frog lights just a little bit more. Just, did I miss? Nope, it didn't do what I wanted it to. I'll just do it manually. It's fine. Oh, it's because they're on different levels, right? Forgot about that. There. Alright, and now we need an altar in the very center here. The altar is very definitely going to be made, or at least lined, with gold. So I almost wonder if I can, for the main altar here, just straight up use gold blocks. And also line it with resin. Maybe, kind of want it in this center here about, say, like a rectangle around that. And then add just a little bit of shading to it. It's too desaturated. I want, ideally, to shade it all the way back up to quartz blocks, so that way it looks shiny. So let's see if I can get a saturated yellow block that's that bright. The only thing that's coming to my mind though is the frog lights. Ah, yeah, perfect. And then if I mirror that over on this side. It means that this altar will literally be glowing, but that's okay, right? And then I'll do a white, like just a pour. Maybe I'll do like the birch and the smooth sandstone up above that. Give it just a little bit of height. I almost wonder if I need to sneak in some jungle wood to make it a little bit darker. Like in the corner there a little bit. Or if that's going to be too extreme. That's going to be too extreme. Mushroom block! There. That's better. One more out. Oops. And then I'll mirror that on this side again. Sorry. Just made an L with it. Now, something about this altar is something else that's in the description of this is that supposedly underneath the altar it's supposed to be like held up by saints. And I'm not entirely sure how to do that except with armor stand magic. So, but I'm not sure if I could get in a whole bunch of armor stands just like along the outside of the altar here. I'll admit, I'm terrible with trying to deal with armor stands. So it's always a bit of a concern for me. You know, I wonder if instead of quartz their snow is actually brighter. Ah, yeah, there we go. That's the block to use for that. Baba Boy, you're asking if I use Java or Bedrock? Java, always. I hate Bedrock. I'm not gonna lie. I do not like Bedrock at all. It's so much harder to work with. There are so many more things that you can do with the Java version, it feels. And it just, things like redstone breaks if you put it into Bedrock, and there's just all sorts. And then the big one for me is the ability to put on mods, which I don't use very many mods, but the mods I do use are quality of life ones, specifically World Edit. If I did not have World Edit, I could not build. And I don't do anything crazy. I don't tend to be one of those who likes to just like draw big organic shapes with brushes or anything like that. But even just being able to just like select from one area to another, position 2, and then just, you know, say set gold and set gold block, and poof, there's a wall there. That's something you cannot do in basic Minecraft. And if you're working in Bedrock, it's really hard to get World Edit to work unless you're using like specific servers to do the work for you. It's just a pain. So I choose to not. I think the resin also needs to be dulled down with something darkened around the corners. I'm wondering if I can get away with using like a dark oak to sort of desaturate it, but that might be too big of a jump going from dark oak to that. Yeah. I like that idea, but it needs a transition block, which might work with the mangrove block. That's not awful. Not best either. I'm not sure how I feel about doing that one. I just color that slightly. Yeah, and then mirror it on this side. I don't even remember what I had. I guess it was just that. worry that mangrove is making the top of it blend a little bit too much with with that over there. If I put just one on the corner, that might help. Yeah, alright. I keep finding myself, ever since I started working with gradients, I keep finding myself more and more using them and incorporating them even into smaller sections to almost make, like, pixel art out of certain elements. So, like, for instance, even on this spiral that I've got going here, it blends from the sandstone to the birch down to the jungle, and just mixing in little bits of other colors just to sort of blend and get the different colors that you want. I know the other thing I've seen, like, specifically B-dubs do, is he'll go in with, like, stained glass panes and put them in front of places to really further push some of those a little bit more, but that only works when it's on builds that are up above the person far enough away that you're not able to just, like, because from far away that looks decent, but when you're up close you're like, there's a thing sticking out of your altar there. So you're a little bit limited on what you can or cannot do with the stained glass, because, like, again, from the front here, that looks fine, but if you were going to come to the side, it doesn't look so fine. Unfortunately, I could spend all day trying to finesse little details like that, but yeah. I need, like, a proper, like, solid white top to this. Problem with using slabs and slabbing it up here is I'm also supposed to be fitting some sort of statue on the top of this. Which, of course, is very different than you would see in an actual church. I'm not sure I've ever seen a place that specifically puts something on the altar that makes it so that way you can't use the altar, but for what I'm going for to fit the scene I'm trying to describe, I think that's what I want to do. I almost wonder if I need to make that sandstone, or at least some of it sandstone. Like, go from this corner and move out from it. Dare I push it even a little bit further by making just a little bit of, oh, no, birch first. Yeah, birch around this corner edge there. Yeah, there we go. I will say this part looks really, really plain, and so I'm thinking I might have to do armor stands there after all. Oh no. how lazy do I want to be with these armor stands? Do I just stick those there and stick some white armor on them? Like, should I do iron, or should I do, like, white dyed leather armor? And do I bother trying to like, design them so they have arms and they're, like, trying to lift their arms up? What is the question? Armor. Yes, that. If I put quartz trim on it, that might look cool. Wonder if I do, like, quartz silence trim. Hang on. This isn't no stuff I normally end up doing, but we're working with little tiny details here, and you're along for the ride for watching me experiment with stuff, so I'm going to try to mess with some trims for a second. Where is the blacksmithing table? There it is! I'm blind, apparently. Alright, there we go. And let's just, I don't know if I should try the iron chest plate first. The other thing to do would be to take the leather tunic and dye it first. Which, the ingredients. Sure. I'm gonna need a crafting table. There's a crafting table around here somewhere, I know it. There it is. No, that's a bookshelf. Am I going to have to look up a crafting table? There you are. Okay. Alright. Oh. There. I took you and I get some quartz in my inventory. Two. And then where are the trims? I think I want silence. We're gonna try that one because that one covers more area on it. Let's just put it in my survival inventory. Let's see if that looks terrible or not. What does that look like on you? Arms are still really, really dark. So maybe not the silence. Otherwise I don't mind it so bad. Let's compare it with just like... Yeah, I'm not sure the leather shirt. I think the leather shirt was too dark to begin with. And I think the silence, while it covers more area, it's not quite the right design for it. Anybody having a favorite armor trim? Let's see put on this. I don't even remember what all of them look like off the top of my head. The flow armor trim is what I did for the armor set back there. So maybe I'll try that because it looks cool. Oops. Why am I holding a door? Alright. That's pretty. You can barely see it, but it's just that little bit brighter. Oops. And if we also do the pants similarly, I'm gonna have to look this up every time. Here's what I'll do. I'll just grab a stack of the flow. Where's flow? There it is. Right, the swirly one. And let's just grab a stack. It's overkill, I know, but just a stack of quartz. And let's grab some pants. I might be too lazy to do boots, but I need at least the pants and the helmet. Okay. I don't know, should I do maybe the silence one instead for that one, just because, again, the silence covers more area? How does the silence pants look? It's got a dark spot in the middle of it, doesn't it? Oh, yeah. Not silence. Alright. Go back to being flow. Oh, and then the helmet. There. It's a simple thing, but it at least adds a little bit more detail to what it is there otherwise. There, I'm on purpose not going into too much detail on these. But... oh, the banner problem is only solvable through mods? That's unfortunate. That is one of the problems with using any of the blocks that disappear from a certain distance, is the moment you try to put them into a build for just that little bit of extra detail, the moment you go back away from it, the fact that it disappears. It's the same problem with using player heads, is they do the same thing for you, where you're like, oh yeah, I just need a little tiny ball on the top of my spire, let's put a player head. Oh, but then you move far away and it disappears. Then it defeats the purpose, because the spire's at the top of the building and you have to be far away from it. So this will always kind of bother me. I get why they do that. It's because of, you know, they want to remove as much things that could cause lag as they possibly can, but it's still slightly annoying. But yeah, I'm sure a better armor standist would put a lot more detail into these armor stands than what I'm doing, because honestly, the fact that they're all very stoic and just standing there is very not like... it's very unlike the how you would see this kind of thing in Baroque architecture. Something about statues in Baroque is that they on purpose try to make the statues have movement to them and have very fine, intricate details and be moving and whatnot. So it, which is one of the ways that you can tell if something is either a gothic build, if they're like just in one simple pose or very stoic pose, and then the other thing is like if they're shrouded in just a cloak that completely conceals their figure. It's more than likely going to be a gothic statue. But if they're like you know, doing some sort of dramatic pose, and they have draping silks that more reveal the figure underneath rather than obscuring them, then that's going to be more Renaissance and Baroque period architecture right there. So the fact that I have a bunch of Stoic armor stands here is a little bit... But I'm not good enough with armor stands to make them all flowing and nice, so I'm just going to leave them as Stoic, unfortunately. Boots. Yes, boots. Just to cover up their little Phoebes there. Alright. I think that's the altar done. I don't think I need to change anything else about the altar, but I do need to put a biblically accurate lamb statue on the top. So here, maybe I should actually pull up what the exact description is, so that we know exactly what we're working with. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone. Give me just a second. Yeah. It's like, it's pretty early on in the visions. There's the description of the 4 beasts. Not that. Ah yes, we have a lamb as it had been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent forth unto all the earth. Okay, yeah, so dead lamb with 7 horns and 7 eyes. Sound good? Good for a description for what we're gonna make for the statue? That'll be fun to make. If this ends up looking abysmal, I'm going to scrap the idea, but I thought it would be funny to try to do some weird biblically accurate sort of statue stuff. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to put some shaping tools in my hands. Oops, not quartz, smooth quartz. There we go. And diorite walls. These are my weird, all my shaping tools for doing an organic build. Now, I don't really want it to just be like directly in the center or anything. It's gotta be like, paint me like one of your French women pose. You know, something off like that, right? So, off to one side. Now, would it be facing? It would probably be facing towards the pews. Oh, that's a problem. That's why I didn't want to do the alter as having half slabs on the bottom. That's fine. Just, let me just try to get a vague shape. I'm a little bit hesitant to do some of this on camera because it takes me so long to finesse, like, even a single shape into something cohesive. Let's see here. Trying to make a general outline. These are going to be legs. You know, there's one hoof going to be in front and one, I don't know. I might build this up and then scrap it all later, so bear with me for a second. So this is going to have a leg like that. Lower. Kind of hard to describe my vision for this as I'm building it, because part of it is I'm not sure what I'm doing here. But essentially I'm trying to make like a haunch, back haunch over here, and then its front legs extending out here, and then we're going to put the neck of the beast up this way. And that's its body coming back. It needs a back leg kind of extending out there. This is going to end up being like a little bit like the, you know, guess the build things where it looks terrible because I'm trying to build it on camera really fast. Whereas it would probably look better if I gave it a little bit of extra time and thought. This is why I don't normally do like statue work with you on camera. See here, is that its neck coming over here? Or is that too high? Put a shelf there. I didn't grab a shelf. I want a shelf. Where are my shelves? Shelf. It's too dark. I almost wonder if even just having it in that spot might create enough of a texture change. Maybe? No. Nope, that didn't help at all. I wish that it wasn't in so much shadow. If that was brighter, that would be better. If I'd like were to illuminate it somehow. This is just silly, right? What I'm doing here. I don't really want to get rid of any of my things on the toolbar. Oh, I can't even put a torch there. Right. Never mind. Forget I did anything at all there. Yeah. working very well. I apologize. Let's put a head on it. Not just any head, but a head with 7 eyes. Part of me really worries that I'm going to lose a bunch of you here if you're going to be like, what are you building, Shells? Especially as it's at this stage where it kind of just looks like a weird amalgamation. It needs to come down just a little bit more. The front there, I think. And we have to have a snout on this because sheep have snouts. Ah. Do I need to look up what a sheep looks like? Maybe. Need to put ears on it somehow. Just want to make sure. Yeah, alright. 7 horns, 7 horns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. I did this to myself. I have no one to blame but myself for this abomination. Yeah. Looks like a dog. And its snout needs to stand out more. Not that I can, really, with my just using pure white, can I? Nope. Nope. Let's put a shelf here, actually. Well, that kind of gives me the shape I want. If I put another shelf on the back side. And there's a way to make it smooth, right? Whoops! Ow, no! Right click it. There. Really can't see the snout at all. I need to figure out how to make this a slightly different color, but I don't want to make it too dark because I want it all to still be mostly the same color. If I did a polished andesite, would that stand out too much? Yep, sure does. Yeah. I mean, most sheep have, like, black faces, right? Nah. I feel like one that's supposed to be representing what this is actually representing. Up, 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 up. Should continue to have a white face. And diorite, polished diorite. Chin. Its snout needs to come out more. for polished diorite for that as well. That's coming out too far. Let's do shells. That's not far enough. Let's do walls. Let's give it another ear. This one is going to be a little bit different from the other one. Don't want them to look exactly the same. It still looks like a dog rather than looking like a lamb. Can't help but feel like it needs to come up just a little bit more on the top of the head. And then, just because I can, we're gonna make it have buttons for her. Oh, I can't put buttons on there? No! No! No. Maybe gold blocks? Well, actually, there's probably a better way to actually remove it, isn't there? Let's say if I had like an empty hand. No, that doesn't work. How do I remove that gold block? Apparently you can't. Well, this is gonna look like a weird spider, isn't it? It's totally going to look like a weird spider. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and one more in the very center. Oh, I see. They don't even look like eyes anymore. So maybe instead of doing buttons, do the same thing over here where they're... This is a weird build. This is probably the weirdest build I've ever made. You'll have to forgive me for some of this. It looks like an animal, so at least it's not entirely lost in the madness. I feel like its butt needs to be bigger. People are gonna look at this in the future without knowing any context and be like, what was wrong with shells this day? Especially since this is supposed to be the main feature element here. That gold is not standing out nearly enough. I almost wonder if I need to use the resin blocks, because the resin blocks are really, really saturated and slightly dark enough that it'll stand out against that properly. Oh, I can just do that. Woo! swapped it out of my hand. Now I need to go find my resin block again. No, it did it again. Darn it. Oh, no, not my wooden axe. You can tell I'm a little bit discombobulated after doing this. I think the orange resin is better, because you can see that further away. But now I need to just, like, fill my inventory with nothing but resin blocks for a second. Yeah. There. Has Shells officially gone crazy? Maybe. Oh, they disappear when you get too far away from it again. No. Huh. Alright, how do I get 7 eyes on this thing that you can see from a distance that is definitively an eyeball and nothing else? Of course, I had to make this an even number, so then when I'm having to make an odd number of eyes, inevitably one of them is going to be off. Well, now it has 6 eyes. Lovely. Seven. There, it has 7 eyes and 7 horns. Are we happy now? What am I doing? Alright. Well, that's one biblically accurate beast created. Now we need 4 more on the tops of these. What do you guys think? Should I keep going with this, or is this just too crazy? I could just go back to, I do have my pretty looking saints and angels over there. I could just go back to that theme. I just thought it would be more neat to do something a little bit different with it. Something I'm still wondering is whether I should have the 4 beasts just sitting up there and then putting the throne up on top, or if I should put the throne below. I think putting the throne below would be a mistake because then you don't get the altar in the front at all. Something else I could do is make it so that way, instead of, I could get rid of my biblically accurate beast here and just do a representation of what it's supposed to be representing, which of course is pretty obviously it's supposed to be representative of Christ, but I don't know, something about making it a lamb with 7 horns and 7 eyes is just funnier to me. So, alright. 4 beasts. Now these beasts, let me actually pull up the description of those ones. We have, The first beast was like a lion, the second beast like a calf. Oh, I was wrong about the bear, it was a lion. I knew that. A lion, a calf, a man, and a flying eagle. And each of the beasts had 6 wings, and they were full of eyes within. Whatever that means. So, 6 wings each of these, and then we've got an eagle, a lion, a calf, and a human. So I think the easiest one would be to make like a 6-winged eagle that's flying. That might be cool. And probably, this might be crazy, but I think I want it to be facing more on a diagonal, each of these, so that way they're not just, you know, sitting facing straight forward, getting a little bit more movement to them. I'm gonna grab all of my shaping blocks again, since I seem to have gotten rid of those. Actually, the shelves would be in redstone still, wouldn't it? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Maybe not. Alright. Oh, diorite walls, that's right. My one and only wall block. Alright, so let's do an... I'm wondering if I should just build the main body and then try to build wings off of it. And then I'll figure out eyes later. So if I want it to... Well, let's see here. I want it to be able to come forward on this diagonal. And I can, once I get my curve down, I can start fleshing out the actual body a bit more. Is that too big? I think I'm making this too big. Yeah, this is gonna be too big. I'll do more shaping after I get the general curve. But I do need... I think this needs to move a little bit more towards the corner. So, yeah. Maybe even one more. Diagonals are always tricky to work on. Let's see here. I want to... Do I want legs on this thing? That might be silly. be a mistake. Just wonder if I can drop them. And if that would fix it a little bit more. Like little tiny caterpillar legs instead of like big eagle talons, aren't they? Alright, that was a failed attempt on that. Feel like the eagle legs would be... Oops. Maybe? Maybe I don't know how bird legs look. Maybe I should just not do legs. I would be probably happy with the results. Legs is a silly idea. It's a bird. It doesn't need legs. I think this is... Let me think about this for a second. It's just something not quite right about it yet. Instead of that. I'm making a worm. It's not a bird, it's just a worm at this point. Man, I thought this was supposed to be the easy one. Maybe if I slap wings on it, it won't look quite so horrible anymore. I should probably put some sort of head on it, though. I just have to figure out how to make a head that doesn't look stupid. To anybody who loves birds, I apologize for this abomination. antennas on the top and give it some eyeballs. Here, some nice little buttons. Where are my buttons? Ah, yes, stone buttons. Uh-huh. It's a caterpillar. Hey, organic shapes are hard, alright? I'm gonna go stare at the wings that I have for my angel over here, just to take inspiration. The problem was these wings are done not on a diagonal, so they're a little bit easier to make. Let's see here. Yeah. See, that's much easier to make on not a diagonal, huh? Should I do what I did here where I made the wings a different color? Probably not. I think I'm gonna have to make the wings the same color. And we have to make 6 wings, mind. This thing needs a beak at least. This is a cruel representation of a bird. Oh, and don't forget the eyes all throughout. It's gotta be covered in eyes too, right? Yeah. Just stick a bunch of those bad boys all over here. I don't know, maybe I should just stick with doing basic angels. It's not really working, is it? Somehow I need this to go both out that way and backwards. Should be. No. Oh, it's gotta be over here. Nope. Oops. I think part of the thing that's throwing me off is when I was trying to add stuff to the main shape. I'm just gonna get rid of all of this for right now until I decide what I'm doing with this. So I could decide to just throw that in. Sure, why not? I feel like that needs to go lower though if it's gonna be there, and then I need some sort of front to it. trying to make the main chest of the bird. So that way it doesn't look like just like a worm. It's got to have a nice big breast on it. Man, if only it had actual proper vertical half slabs instead of... Like, don't get me wrong, the shelves are a huge step forward. They're still just not quite thick enough to do it justice. Darn it. Let's see, if I were to put a wall there, I don't think that would look good either. Fence might work, maybe. Eh. At this point, the bird needs a higher forehead. Maybe I'll just make it 2 blocks tall instead of 1. See, its body is still way too long and skinny, and it needs to at some point come up into a fanned tail, which I think would probably improve this shape a lot. I don't mind this wing here. I just need to actually like flesh it out with more feathers, I think. These feathers can afford to be a little bit loosey-goosey. Oops. I don't think I can use stairs very effectively since it's such a strong diagonal here. And, actually, that needs to be taken out. Maybe a stair here? Oh, that's a slab. Oh, there. That's better. And maybe flesh it out a little bit more with another stair there. And these ones can have more like that coming down, maybe? I don't know how I'm going to fit 6 of these in. I might move this one up, and then I can put one down below a little bit more. I don't know how to fit another one. Maybe I could put the other one more forward. Like coming off of this appendage right here, perhaps. Oops. One. Maybe if this is back one, oops. And then this only needs to be right here. And right here. And is that too bulky in the front? Oh, that's alright. And then basically going straight up and out for the wings. Oof. Maybe I shouldn't be using full blocks for that bit. Well, is that more like it? Yeah, that's not bad. Trying to get that, you know, the curve of their shoulders coming up and then the elbows facing out. That'll be fine. And then I just have to now this one might actually curve back a little bit. Maybe even a bit more from the get-go. It looks vaguely like a bird, right? Maybe instead of facing that way, this one needs to face more that way. Give more of a defining curve going in like that. Body is still not right. And this beak is really awful. Almost needs like a brow on there. It kind of reminds me of looking at some, like the head in particular is reminding me of looking at like the Chicken Run claymation sort of faces on those chickens. Once again, I feel like the breast needs to be just a little bit further down. And then, yeah, if I had actual, like, proper legs of some sort coming down, that might improve something. Maybe. That looks kind of like an eagle, right? Maybe if I take this form and move it back one. Maybe. See here, copy that on this side just to see if that looks entirely stupid. Or just, you know, somewhat stupid. You know, as far as Eldritch Abominations go, I don't think it's too bad. We still need a smaller pair of wings somehow coming in the below this pair. delete that just because you're not going to see it from this angle very well anyway, because it will be, yeah, at that point you're out of bounds. Let me see if I can just take these two wings that I've got here and just copy them and paste them around on this side. If I copy it, and do I need to, if I flip it that way and then also flip it that way, that might make it work. Flip, flip, paste my there. That didn't work. Nope, that's definitely did not work. Nope. So if I copy it and then if I were to rotate it and then flip it, I'm not thinking in this properly, am I? Let's see here. So if I just flip it and then paste it, where does it go? Goes over there. And then if I were to take that and rotate it 90 degrees to the left, so rotate -90 and then paste it. Nope, that didn't work. That rotated it the wrong way. Alright, 180. Did I do it? No, I didn't. Wait, that's in the right spot. I just didn't get the bottom of it, that's all. Well, that's easy enough. Just have to figure out what I did for that. Let's, like that. Yeah? Yeah. I think that's right. Maybe. And then I'm missing the bottom of that wing, which is just... No, that's not the right spot. Is it right there? Where are you? Oh, no, it just... Or is it like that? And then like that. Yeah, somehow I got some of this wing chopped off. I guess I just didn't go low enough, I think is what I did. Right? Right. I mean, it kind of looks cool. It only has 4 wings instead of 6. But you can, if you squint at it, you can kind of tell what it is. We've got the chest of it. We've got an eye up there. We've got wingling things. We still need a tail on this thing. I don't know that I'm fitting in another pair of wings. I could try to put in something over this way, I guess. Oops. It kind of works. It's such a mess, though. It's a mess of blocks. You can't really tell what it is the problem. You could kind of get the shape, the general impression of a bird. I almost need... another feather there. Maybe just right here, actually. Oops. Maybe with a shelf there. There we go. That kind of fills in that gap. Let me do that on the other side of the wing as well. That was just there. It's kind of cool. Doesn't need to make total sense, right? Just that there's a statue there, it's very detailed, looks kind of interesting, and then each one is slightly different, but similar-ish. it's weird because they're all described as having 6 wings. So it makes me wonder if I need to just take this and like take the 6 wings part of it and keep it and flip it throughout and then just change the chest and the face a little bit. Though obviously that one has the eagle tail, but then, you know, the lion will have a lion tail. The calf will have a cow tail, you know, that kind of thing. Just to balance it out a little bit more. But otherwise, I think I might make them mostly... I'm going to take the 6 wings and just copy and flip them around, I think. Because that was kind of a pain to do. Just the wings portion of it. How did I do this wing over here? Oh. I'm just going to try to grab this and try and fail to capture it all again. Is that low enough to get? No. One lower. Alright. What did I do? I did a copy, then I flipped it, and then I did a rotate 90, didn't I? And then paste minus error. Yeah, I did it right that time. I mean, it's kind of cool. If anything, again, you don't necessarily have to know what it's supposed to represent. You just say, hey, that looks kind of neat. And then it'll frame the actual throne up on top a little bit better, hopefully. So I'm just going to grab this and copy the whole thing and rotate it all the way around. And then I'll make minor changes to them to make it more clear what each one of them is. I don't know how to make them have eyes throughout, other than just, you know, spamming the copper rods everywhere, which I think would just look really, really stupid, because it looks like polka dots at that point. You know, it doesn't even look like eyes, it just looks like I'm speckling it. So I'm not really sure how to represent that portion of it. Let's see here. One more out. That. Just gonna come over here and make sure I'm selecting the entirety of my thing. Position 2. Where is the exact center of my pillars? Definitely not there. There? And I could just actually count this. Probably should if I'm trying to find the exact center. And I should probably like mark it in the floor with like an orange stained glass or something like that. Just that way I don't have to count it again. Here, let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I can see the center point from that and that. Alright. Copy. Rotate Cool. And now we just have to change the design of the actual body and face just a little bit per each one to make it more apparent what it's supposed to be. Maybe. Let's maybe do the lion up here, in which case, just bulk out its feet a little bit more and give it some forelegs. Maybe have one that's up. That's not where legs go. Well, it's weird because that's its chest. So one leg is going to be down. Sorry if I'm going really quiet here, it's because I'm trying to figure out how I want this to look. At this point it kind of looks kind of like a griffin, just because it's got the legs bit on there, but oops. But it's still got kind of an eagle face on it. Alright, so we need to take off the beak and probably bulk out the entire face just a little bit more. Maybe? Or is this a mistake? And give it some ears. Yeah, there comes a point where it just looks like a blob. I'm not sure it looks like anything at this point. Hello, Stabby Man! Welcome to the stream where I am building, Eldritch Abominations. Oh, that's my problem. It's not gonna do what I want it to. There will always be one side that's off. Well, alright. Does that look like a lion with 6 wings to you? That wing is, like, chopped off somehow. How did that wing get chopped off? Did I? Oh, I did. I missed a portion of all of the wings on all of them. Darn it. I didn't go forward enough. It's just this section right here. Well, Just stand here. Copy that. Flip it. Paste. That fix that one. Feel like this would be easier if I just did something where I selected it and did some rotate magic. Copy 90. And then did a flip somewhere. And then paste. And then another rotate 90 thing. Did I get it all? Did that fix it? No, something terrible's gone. It's gone horribly wrong. No. No, wait, it has it? Oh, never mind. That is supposed to face that way because that's a feather, not the curve of the actual thing. Is that it? Did that, wait. Yeah, I think that's right. Why does that look wrong? That wing does not look right. Oh, it also has a... I think that's supposed to be there and it isn't. Let's do it again. Alright, is it fixed? Are they all fixed now? That didn't do anything. No, it did do something there. It fixed them all except for that one. That's fixed, that's fixed. That was always fixed. Somehow, this one is missing that spot. Let's just put it in. And then 1, 2, and 1. Okay. There. Alright. Does that look lion-y enough for you? Debatable. I kind of see the form of one leg. Oh, this leg just doesn't look right to me, the one that's supposed to be extended. I think part of the problem is I feel like this needs to be on that side of it, maybe? Close enough? Maybe? Is there anything I can do to smooth that out more? Nope. Well, I think that's just the way that one's going to be. Alright, eagle, lion. We need a cow and a person. I almost feel like the cow is going to be... Oh, I forgot to change the tail on the lion. He's got a little eagle tail. That's not right. He's gonna be... Because of the way his legs are, his butt is in the air. It's not actually touching the ground. There. His legs are... That's his back haunch. Right there. And then so that's his foot. So he's got some buns of steel here at the moment. We bring that up. And then the tail. I don't know. That doesn't look good. It's too long for a lion tail. It's hiding behind there, so you can't even see it anyway, but yeah. Again, I don't know how much detail we're actually going to be noticed in this. Bird, lion. Wow, Stabby Man, that's a big cathedral. If it's, you know, you're saying it 450 blocks wide, 150 wide, and the spire was up to build limit. Yeah, sometimes you have to build things huge in order to get any sort of level of detail that you want out of it, though. Did you do it in creative, or did you do the build in survival mode? Was huge, yeah. It sounds huge. I don't know if I've actually... I think I don't remember any of the dimensions of the cathedrals that I've built, but I can already tell you that, like, even this one is pretty big. If I go from one side to the next, just to measure and see how big this thing is without any outer walls. Whee! That's 277 blocks long. It's not nearly as long as 450, and I would consider this to be a fairly sizable length as well. It'll add on maybe 10 more blocks in either direction just to put on the facade, but honestly it's not going to be any bigger than that. So yeah, 450 is insane compared to 277, so... oh, a Discord? I don't tend to take, friend requests from random people unless you've, like, messaged me and talked to me first. So, that's always... I don't know where to draw the line on some of that. I guess if it's just like a handful of people, I don't care if you know, want to be friends, but you have to give me a reason to be your friend first. Alright, if this is supposed to be a cow, it's gonna have a big butt and it's going to actually have to sit a little bit more. And it's gonna be a little bit more girthy on its rear end side here. It's also going to not have as high of a chest as the bird, because its chest is going to be much lower down to the ground. It's still going to have a fairly beefy chest, I want to say, but that's fair. I don't know, my Discord isn't that hard to find. I use the same Shells124 for everything, but just know I may or may not. I mean, even just today I got a friend request from somebody that didn't even bother trying to send me a message or anything along with it, so it's like, I don't even know who you are. Alright. Cow. How do cows do? I almost feel like this cow needs to go back a little bit more since he's taking up more room. He's not on his hind legs like the eagle or the lion are. He's more settled. Somehow these are not symmetrical. Okay. Just to give him a little bit more curvature in the front. Look, his legs would come down to here, but they're sticking over the edge of the pillar there. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to move him back a little bit. And make sure I'm including the entirety of his wings in there. Oh good, I'm glad you're not a psycho, Mr. Stabby Man. Your username would infer that otherwise. We'll ignore that part. Alright, position 2. Alright. Move! His head isn't going to be quite so up either. He's going to have more of a forward head. I almost wonder if I need to move him again. That would put that leg there. Yeah, that's not bad. I don't know, what does an ox look like? Or, not an ox, a calf. Specifically, it's supposed to be a baby cow. That would do it. Yeah, no, I don't blame you. I mean, the name Shells124 I've had since... This is going to be hard to admit, but since I played Neopets back when I was a kid. So, it comes to show how long I've had this username for. So, yeah, if you have a weird name because you've been using it for a long time, I totally get it. It helps that I've used it for so long here that it's become, my own husband refers to me as Shells. It's just my nickname now. Does his leg come out just a little bit more? Yeah, probably. How did I do that? I think I just made a haunch here. And then I did you were one of those melee people who would sneak up on people and murder them in their sleep. I see. Yeah, I would never actually, this is an admission, I never played any first-person shooter games. Partly because my mom banned it when I was a kid. Any sort of first-person shooters, the closest I got was on playing any first-person shooter game in my house was Banjo-Tooie specifically had a game mode where Banjo grabs Kazooie and shoots eggs at people. And that was like the most first-person shooter game I got until like high school. I got Oblivion, but that doesn't really count because that's with a sword. So, yeah, I never played any first-person shooter games. It's to the point where I don't play them anymore just because whenever I would play at like a friend's house or something, I was so bad at them that I was inevitably the person who was like, yeah, I finally found a spot that maybe I can not die, and then I'd instantly die. And yeah, I had very little, mini map awareness. I'm not very quick at aiming. I just can't do first person shooter games. Oh, I just realized this wing is like coming out of his neck here. How much do I care? Yeah, that's... I apologize if you can hear crying in the background because apparently my daughter is very upset for some reasons. See, you say that the banter in lobbies at the start and end of games is the best part of, playing back in the days, but I always had to worry about that partially because I'm a female, and I hate to say it, but there is a lot of sexism in gamers in particular for some reason. I don't know, even just with the gamer tag of Shells124, there was one point where I was playing a game of League of Legends, and somebody was just like, oh, you're female. Hey, I'm gonna ask you on a date randomly. And it's like, can you not? So, yeah. Of course I'm saying that for League of Legends, which is notorious for being really toxic. But it still applies in a lot of games where it's just, so you have to be a little bit careful who you divulge your gender to sometimes. The back of his head is too fat. How does a calf look? How do I get this guy to look like a calf? Like trying to round out his features and... Yeah, have Minecraft players with boy names and skins, so that way you can play without a hassle. Yeah. It's unfortunate that that's necessary, but necessary it is sometimes. Those work as calf ears. They have, like, bigger flared ears that go in the back. That's maybe a little bit too far back. But how much do I care? Especially for something that's going at the very back and you won't even be able to see what it is. There, it has cute little horns. Aww, it's adorable. Oh, I know what it needs. It needs, like, nostrils. That might be easier said than done. Eh. Now, I know that I'm still a little bit worried about how to make eyes just in general, but I feel like I need to try. And the best way to put eyes on a calf would just be little dots right there and there. Aw, little moo cow! Does that look like a moo cow? Let me just clean up the haunches just a little bit more, make them a little bit... Oops. Yeah. Maybe. Yep, I think the nostrils make all the difference in the world in there. That looks like a cow now. Murr. You're never going to see it from any angle except maybe... Oh, there's going to be a wall coming right there. You're not going to see this thing. You can't see this thing's face. But I know, I'll know, that it has cute moo cow nostrils. So derpy. These are terribly derpy. Okay, now the worst one is going to be turning this into a human. This one is probably the more generic, you know, humanoid, but with 6-winged sort of angel deal. Back. That nobody's gonna see. That's okay. I don't know, I still think it's kind of cool because you can kind of see the shape of the wings there, and then if I have just like some sort of swirly dealy going up, and then a throne up there, that should work, and then, you know, God sitting upon the throne. Yeah? Yeah, everybody's still with me? Alright, so it's less abomination-y. Don't pay too much attention to the lamb. It's kind of cool. Alright, we're gonna tear down this guy's body, because he is supposed to be a dude. He's gotta get actual, like, legs going down here. If anything, he's gonna be more upright. So... Now, do I give him, like, arms as well? Probably. Yeah, alright. I'll check it out afterwards, Stabby Man. Thanks for coming to the stream and chatting, by the way. How do I turn you into, like, proper humanoid shape? Problem is he's on a weird diagonal, which does not help matters whatsoever. Almost feel like... Well, this is too bulky in the front. Maybe... He needs a thinner neck. That's what he needs. There's a reason this guy's in the back, okay? Oops. He does need arms. You can't have a human without proper arms. He's gonna have little shelf arms. No, that's a mistake. That's... Gets rid of the definition on the chest. And I feel like his arms need to be doing something other than just, you know, down by his side. He's gotta do something more, I don't know. You know what I mean? Gotta have something going on there. Maybe I'll try to design his legs first. Or is that just a bad idea? I feel like he needs to be... Since he's more upright than the others, he should be taller. So he's either going to be kneeling or doing something else. I think I might give him the same treatment I did with the cow, where I'm actually going to move him a little bit over. That's maybe too far. There. Question is, do I move him over back by 1 like I did with the cow, or do I move him back by 2? He does look like he has a Lego head, but hey, when you're working on a diagonal, sometimes that's all I care about. Legs. How do legs work? Also, he's got kind of a tail going here, doesn't he? He's got to get some good buttocks on him. There. Is that a good butt? Proportion. his crotch is too low. I almost wonder if I need to raise that up by a butt. That means this wing is coming up through his butt. Alright, that's... change the trajectory of that wing a little bit. How in the world am I going to get proper legs on this guy? Those are some thick thighs. That might be what I need. No. What am I doing? This guy doesn't look right at all. He's gotta have arms. Army dealies coming outside somewhere over here. Why did I put him on a diagonal? Oh yeah, because it looks better that way. This is terrible. This is terrible. That's something you'll never see a tutorial from me, is how to make organic looking statues, because my answer is, I don't know, I mess with it till something happens, and alright. Well, he's got both of his arms down. Maybe I'll put this arm instead going up. I don't know. I might just be lazy and just this leg is decent. This leg is not. It has to. I feel like he needs a leg that's forward and then bent and back. Don't ask me how I'm gonna do that, but that's what it feels like it needs. You know what? I don't even care enough about this anymore. You're not even gonna see it. It's back here. He's done. Mr. Lego Head is done. Alright. With that, I have some semblance of a bit of some statues here. And, you know, despite the Eldritch abominations, I don't think it's too bad. Again, you can't really see what these are, but I'm just going to have to allow myself to be okay with that, and then move on. I'll start building up the rest of that section to make the actual throne up above, and be happy with it. Lego Cardi B thighs statue. Yeah, well, again, the most you're gonna see of it, probably the best angle you'll get is this, which all you're seeing still is just the wings, and you see something coming off there, which is his arm. Honestly, that might be a problem, the fact that his arm looks disconnected. Hang on. That's his arm, right? Yeah, that's totally his arm. This hand might look better if it's curved inwards. Or it will look worse. Maybe if I just not have it on a different curve there. There. Again, you're going to view it from here and pretty much nowhere else. We're not sure what this is. It's just a thing. Because directly below it, which is the only angle you get from the front side of it, it looks like a lot of nothing. Cool. Well, I know what it is, and so therefore it's good enough. I still like the 6 wings. I think that just the shape of them turned out well overall. So if you get nothing else out of this, these statues, just know that it's the 6 winged things. Alright, it has now been over 3 hours since I started the stream, so here comes the point in time where why am I wearing armor? Hang on. Yeah. Sorry for dealing with armor stands earlier. Shoot, get out of my inventory. Alright. Right. Well, again, I hope that you all have enjoyed watching. Thank you all for coming. It means a lot to me that you seem to like my builds, so sorry it was a bit chaotic as I was building Eldritch Abominations and biblically accurate angels. And I hope that you all had a happy Halloween, and I will go ahead and wrap up for today, and I will see you. Next stream will, of course, be the first Saturday out of the month for next month for December, which is... Let me look it up real quick so that way I can give you an exact date. Calendar. Next month is the 6th. December 6th. Yes, so, yeah, next stream will be December 6th. I'm gonna try to get more work done off camera. It is nice because I'm no longer having to do things like making Halloween costumes for children. So hopefully my schedule frees up just a little bit more this month, and I'll try to get more out to you, soon-ish. So, unfortunately I can't promise anything because I'm so bad at getting things done in a timely manner. But, again, thanks for all for watching. I'm going to head out now.